Woof, Diogenes here once again. We're into episode 13 and the end of Act 1 of my year-long storytelling. At the end of the arc, I will likely forge this into a book, but I wanted to do what our ancestors did and have it as spoken word first. So, welcome as I forge my craft through spoken word, a mixture of written throughout all my damn multiple notebooks. Not important. Anyways, just a slight reflection. Thank you for joining in a unique window into the modern American storyteller. So, episode 13, Thomas the Trailhound, The Long Descent. We stood on the summit of Iron Mountain together. Mist drifted in the air, lit now and then by the spark come and fall storm. Thunder rolled somewhere beyond the ridge, and I could smell the rain wandering closer. The old man, he just stood there, stoic as stone, thumb resting on the pouch that held the single mustard seed. Fur along my back began to rise and dance. I let out the sound of unease. He and I both knew this trail like an old hymn carved into the bone. My instincts felt the stone pressing fast, too fast. Yet he didn't move. Only when the first drops began to fall in earnest did he slip the pouch into a dry sack. He knew there was no sense in running panicked down the trail. You don't outrun a storm like this. Not up here. That's for the inexperienced, the reckless, the men who fear nature instead of walking with her. This wasn't arrogance, wasn't stubborn defiance. The old man smelled a calm, the kind earned across many seasons. Some storms you can't fight or flee. Life puts them in your path, and the only way is through. Messy, disheveled, thunderous, and wild. So I followed him, steady downhill towards the northern-bound trail and the dark valley below. We walked in silence. No whimper from me, no grumble from him. Just focus, boots, pause, movement. The skies grew darker. The rain grew heavier. The lightning began to stitch the ridges together. One man, one beast, curving forward through the roar of a fall stone. Mud underfoot, branches cracked and fallen, hearts quickening, but steps staying steady. Even when a strike, a lightning landed 50 years off the ridge with a boom and shook the marrow. When the rain finally turned sideways, the sight and scent both vanished into a gray void. We tucked ourselves beneath a lean as stone and pine. A roof shelter, but enough to break the wind's teeth. No fire tonight. Not crept in as a strobing void. Lightning flashing above our small world. The trail is like this sometimes. Calculated risk leading into cold, wet valleys and long, shivering nights. Yet still, man and beast have walked this path, generation after generation. The descent into the void is always the truest path to home. We have sought the wilderness only to find the wild things roam in our minds, in our hearts, in our souls. But if your lamp still burns bright, even deep in the storm, you will always find your way through the night. Thank you for listening to the end of Act 1, Episode 13. Remember, we have a full 52 episodes planned, 5 acts altogether. So this is the full Act 1 complete now for listening. I know it's counterintuitive to be a storyteller without fancy graphics in the modern world. But not everything is meant to be fancy and edited. Sometimes stories are meant to be spoken. Think of it as a fireside chat. Anyways, if you made it this far, thank you. I wish you well. Diogenes out.